Diablo 4 players, what's going on? I got the Shred build for you. I'm sure all y'all are having a great time with the Paladin. I know I am, but hey, Shred's my favorite build, so I had to make one. I have tested every piece of gear, board you can think of, and this is the best variant of the build that I can come up with. If you're looking for a pit pusher, this is not the build for you, but if you're looking for a super fun build, probably the fastest build in the game, honestly, and just a lot of fun to play, easy to play. You just hold two buttons down and go to town. As long as there's someone to lock onto, you just absolutely blast, and it's just a lot of fun. Ain't got to worry about climbing up walls or anything. You just blast. Um, but back to the pit thing. If you are looking for a pit push, this is not the build for you. I'm capped right now at about a 92. I think was the last one I was able to do. It is not pretty either. You will die. Um, those little explosions that happen are no bueno for the for the druid right now. Um, but if you're not worried about that and just looking for a fun, chill build that's fast to play, then give Shred a shot. Personally, my favorite build. Um, it sucks what they did to it. It's almost criminal, but I'll just showcase a little bit more of the Helltide clearing. Um, like I said, as long as there's anyone in a line or that you can lock onto, this build is just the fastest thing out there. Great for farming, and like I said, just a lot of fun. Alright, well, let's get out of here. I'll do a quick gear breakdown, go over the skill tree. Again, I'll have everything linked on my Mobalytics. I just want to say thank you all. We just hit 250 subscribers. That was awesome. Really appreciate all the support. I knew I had to make another shred build, and it just took me forever because I was trying all the different variants. But I think this is as good as it's going to get this season, unfortunately, for old Shred here. Starting off, we're going to go air. And since Cyclone Armor isn't actually pulling in any mobs at all, we have to go Tam Cry just for that extra vortex. You want to temper on everything into core skills. If you have a GA on critical strike chance, that's just fine. Just temper into core skills. And then we're going to go Shroud. Gives +1 to all passive. I have tried the Mad Wolf. You're going to lose some damage and survivability, so I recommend going the Shroud. And then you're going to slap some willpower into there on the socketables. For the gloves, you want to try to get a GA on Shred if you can. If not, willpower second best. You definitely want attack speed, life on hit. You don't need that. That's just what I got right here. And then you want to masterwork werewolf attack speed. Throw everything into Shred. And then the aspect is going to be the aspect of the blurred beast. For the pants, you're going to go to Balt's Will. You want the GA on attack speed, triple hit everything into attack speed if you can. I didn't find a pair of those, so this is what we got. And then for the runes, you're going to go Monizan just because you are going to be absolutely crit strike and overpowering the entire time. For the boots, you want the GA and willpower. Armor's okay, but you definitely want max life on there. Don't temper on Cyclone Armor. It's not needed. It doesn't do anything. And then for the aspect, you're going to go Dire Wolves, which Grizzly Rage is now a werewolf skill. For the weapon, you typically want a sword if you can with a GA and willpower. I just got this really beefed up mace that I'm just using because it had great stats to it. You want the GA and willpower, max life, crit chance, or critical strike damage if you can. You want to master work on chance for Shred to deal double damage. Aspect, you're going to go aspect of the Rampaging Weirbeast. And for the totem, you want the GA and willpower. Critical strike chance is good as well. And you definitely want cooldown on there. And chance for Shred to deal double damage. For the aspect, it's the aspect of the Rabid Beast. And for the ring, you're going to go GA and willpower. You definitely want to try to get attack speed on there and cooldown, max life. So these stats are pretty good. The Sanctify on this ring did not go well. I got life on hit, whatever. But you want to master work werewolf attack speed. And then the aspect is a Storm Claws, just a very good damage buff for Shred. And then we're going to go, this is actually my best pull of the season so far. You're going to go Ring of Starless Skies. Attack speed is great if you have the GA on there, and then just throw everything into core skills. Even if you have the GA on critical strike chance, it's just fine. Just make sure you are capped at 100 on attack speed. You will lose a lot of damage if you are not meeting that breakpoint on there. So make sure your attack speed is capped and close to 100% on your crit strike chance. So whatever you need to flip flop on your gear, just try to make it work. And then for the amulet, we're gonna go the Malefic or the Malefic Crescent, and you want the GA and willpower. I got a really good one. I got pretty lucky, but I tried every, like the Feral Aptitude. The extra rank wasn't worth the buff to willpower, so GA and willpower is just fine. And then I didn't triple hit it, but I landed on willpower, and it's given me the most damage out of all of those. Moving on to the Spirit Boon. You're gonna go get to the Stag, and then you're gonna go. If you aren't capped on the attack speed, you can change it to swooping attacks, and then run the Wrath to gain that extra 40% critical strike damage. Then over here, I'm just going to extend the ultimate skill by 35%, so our Grizzly Rage lasts 35% longer. And then here, I'm flip-flopping between these two. I actually think I'm going to go here. Just because we are dealing poison damage constantly. So you're just going to have a bunch of lightning bolts. This one is good for survivability, but it really doesn't matter. Once you get into those higher tier pits, you're so susceptible to getting one-shotted. It really doesn't matter. If this one feels better for you, then run it. I'll go over this really quick. Like I said, I'll have everything linked in the mobalytics below. And then 1 to Maul. And then you're going to take 1 to Heart of the Wild, max out Wild Impulses. I didn't meet that crit strike chance, so I threw 3 into Predatory Instinct. Max out Shred and bring it all the way to Primal Shred. That's how you freaking launch to every target that's on the map. Cyclone Armor just for the damage reduction. You aren't going to be pulling anyone in, even if you go that route. It doesn't do anything. It's unfortunate. When it starts working, then maybe we'll swap out Cry back for, and then we'll put in for the Bulwark. But for right now, this is what we got. 3 into Backlash. Blood Howl. Take it all the way down to Innate Blood Howl. Basically what you're doing is you're taking the extra points you would have put into Bulwark and just maximizing every single piece, or every single, I don't even know what I'm saying, but every little skill point that you can into some damage reduction, or survivability. And then you're going to max out Feral Aptitude. Come up here, charge Atmosphere, take it up to 3 to Electric Shock. I'm playing Rabies because it no longer passively spreads. So I dropped it down to the 70% spread increase. Drop 1 to the Neurotoxin, and then max out a Venom and Toxic Claw. For over here, since you are popping Grizzly Rage more often now, this is okay. You don't have to spend the points in there. You can, so Catastrophe is okay. And then 1 or 2 into Defensive Posture, and then 1 into each of Thick Hide and Nature's Resolve. Max out Grizzly Rage, bring it all the way down to Supreme Grizzly Rage. Max out Quick Shift and Heightened Senses. And we're going to finish it off with some Lupine Veracity, just because of the extra critical strike chance, or damage. For the Merc, we're going to go Subo, just for that extra critical strike damage. You can run Rahir if you're really worried about the survivability, but like anything other than pushing high tier pits, you're not going to need it. So it's not worth losing that extra damage. I like Variana just for the extra attack speed, movement speed, and unstoppable for 7 seconds. Like I said, you can throw Rahir in there if you need to, but it's totally up to you. All right, here we go. We're going to do just the Purified. We're going to go Pain, Lies, Screams, and Sin. And we'll go Paragon real quick. So starter board, we're gonna go Headhunter. If you are having trouble activating any of the other nodes on there, just throw it into what you need here. It gives you a pretty good little extra boost. And then for the next board, you want to take this, you want to get to Lust for Carnage as quick as possible. And you're going to do Fang and Claw on here. And then we're going to come up. It is going to be Ancestral Guidance with Dominate. Since we are using Zan, we are overpowering a lot. Werewolf was okay when I tried it, but Dominate definitely gave me the best damage boost. And then we'll finish off with that one last. We're coming into Heightened Malice with Keeper. Keeper's a great node. Standard damage increase. This is where I tried Inner Beast. Yeah, you're going to cap out the max or the attack speed and stuff like that, but it's completely useless. You can't play it, really. So I went with Constricting Tendrils. It is the poison damage that I was after. And I tried the board. I have them saved on there too. This one gave us the most damage. So we're sticking with this. And then for the actual glyph, you're going to go Spirit. Just, you know, the critical strike multiplier. That's pretty much it. We'll do a boss followed by a quick pit. I'll just pick random boss. We'll go her because she's a little tough. But like I said, you're not going to blow anyone's mind with the pit pushing aspect of Shred, but it is the fastest build out there. You blow by everyone. You'll see all these paladins, you'll just leave them in the dust. And those of you that have played it before, you know how fun it is. So, like all Shred, you're going to stack up your quick shift. Make sure you stay in that werewolf form. And then when she pops in, activate your blood, hold down Shred and blood health, and you're good to go. So bossing is very fine this season. You don't even have to have the Grizzly Rage enabled to kill the boss in just a couple seconds. So yeah, that's bossing. Now we'll do a little quick pit 80 and then we'll call it. Again, it'll be linked in the description below. I try to make builds, but like I get so stuck on them that I can't move on until they're like as good as I think they can get. So I'm working on a shield bash paladin build. It's pretty good. It's actually pretty fun to play. But you can see pit 80 kind of just blast. The eyes kind of give you some problems like you've seen. All these random explosions that happen, they're no bueno. So just start launching onto them. Let the Cry Rune activate, and then just hit them. Like you can still, I've had a couple 150, 160 billion damage hits, but definitely nothing like we were working with last season. Last season was a blast. I actually missed that. Shred was going off. We had a hit 128 clear. It was nice seeing Shred on the leaderboard. You're definitely not going to see Shred on any leaderboard this season. And like I said, you can easily get one shot just like that. The pits aren't pretty. Even at 90, you have no problem killing. It's just the random one-shots that are going to happen. So you can easily complete the pit 90. You're probably just not going to do it without dying. And that goes for an 80 as well. So that's pretty much Shred in a nutshell. Again, if you guys have any questions, please feel free. I'll show you the Belial kill here at the end. But yeah, it's my favorite build, and I always got to make one every season. So I had to see how much the devs actually just killed my favorite build, which sucks, but we're making it work, and it's still a great farming build. I mean, just, it is, in terms of speed, there's nothing that can touch them. But yeah, you definitely got to watch out for the, like I said, the random bombs that go off and explosions. But yeah, you have no problem getting your glyphs up. And if you're making a pulverize or anything like that, just use the pulverize to get your glyphs up before you go into this build if you choose to swap. I have a hard time going back to the Paladin after playing this because, like I said, it's just the best farming build, I think, in the game right now. Like, nobody can touch it, especially since Sword got a little nerf to it, you know? Oh, this is actually taking a lot longer than I thought. So I apologize. Just wanted to show you all that I could actually do it. I didn't want to run a 90 because I would have, you know, I would have died about 12 times in there. But you'd still make it, I promise. You'll still make the 90. I've made the 90 with about 6 minutes left. So there is room, it's just really frustrating just dying. But normal monsters in here, you just absolutely just blast through them. We're not even going to get the blow. Which is alright. Alright. Open that sweet portal for me. Now let's get in here. So make sure your quick shift is up. Grizzly Rage. And he's dead. So the bossing is just fine. It's getting to the boss without dying is the hard part. But that's pretty much Shred in a nutshell. If you all have any questions for me on this build, let me know. And I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Again, really appreciate all the support lately. You all take it easy. And until next time, we'll see ya.